Tonight, we have team coverage on a race everyone has their eye on, the U.S. Senate seat in Missouri.
Political editor Mark Maxwell is looking into our independent candidate, John Wood.
First, let's start with Justina Coronel with reaction from the GOP and the Democratic candidates. Justina.
Yeah, Mike, so it was a late night and early morning for the Democratic nominee for U.S. Senate, Trudy Busch Valentine. This morning, she was already back meeting with voters. Her challenger, Republican nominee Eric Schmitt, wasn't campaigning today, but he says his message is loud and clear. He says right now Missouri needs a conservative fighter to stop the radical progressives.
Just 12 hours after winning the Missouri Democratic primary for U.S. Senate,
I got up ready to go.
Trudy Busch Valentine was back on the campaign trail Wednesday morning. It was pancakes and handshakes at Chris's Pancake and Dining.
And I'm coming at this to really serve the people of Missouri.
The Anheuser-Busch heiress and nurse made her stance known. She's for abortion services.
I absolutely am for the right to choose.
Taking a jab at her opponents on the topic, including third-party independent candidate John Wood.
I think people need to look at the record of John Woods, who is also against a woman's right to choose.
And Republican nominee and Attorney General Eric Schmitt, who signed into law Missouri's trigger ban.
Eric Schmitt is extreme.
Valentine says she's focused on putting people first.
I'm for quality and affordable health care. I'm for lowering inflation and the cost of basic needs, and I am for a woman's right to choose. And those are three big things we're going on.
You guys ready to take this country back?
Eric Schmitt is the Republican candidate competing against her in the November general election. In his victory speech, he also made a dig at Valentine.
I don't come from billions. I come from Bridgeton.
He wasn't campaigning Wednesday, but he said his approach won't change.
To protect freedom, to push back against socialism, to secure our borders and protect our communities.
He shares he too wants to fight for Missourians.
I want to be your senator to push back against the wokeness and the weakness that is undermining America.
Valentine also shares she believes John Wood's presence will actually help her and mix up the votes on the Republican side. Now let's send it over to our political editor, Mark Maxwell, with more about that third-party candidate.
Yeah, Justina, we've got a pretty good idea what Eric Schmitt and Trudy Busch Valentine are all about, though we could still learn a lot more, maybe on a debate stage over the next 3 months. But we know relatively little about John Wood. We know he's a Republican. Know he worked in the White House for George W. Bush, worked as a lawyer for the big business group, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, and he was a lead investigator in the January 6th committee. That resume and his most recent experience building the case against Trump puts him closer to that quadrant of the GOP that aligns with Mike Pence, who split with Trump and certified the election results. That raises an interesting question. Where was Mike Pence in the Missouri Senate primary after all? He was a total no-show in the Show Me State, even as he campaigned for other big races across the country. Some of those candidates were backed by Trump. Pence was lining up against them. So we asked John Wood, would you accept support from Mike Pence? He says he would.
I think Mike Pence decided he wanted to keep his powder dry. There's a good chance that he's going to run for president, and maybe he just didn't want to choose sides. But also maybe he thought there weren't any really good choices. I mean, all three of the leading candidates on the Republican side are people who are election deniers.
That's a preview of his line of attack against Eric Schmitt. Perhaps tonight at 6, we hear analysis from NBC News political director Chuck Todd, who explains how third-party candidates can affect a race like this one. And we hear from Josh Hawley. Remember, he backed Vicky Hartzler in this race. She came runner-up, and he urged President Trump not to back Eric Greitens. Tonight, how Josh Hawley is changing his tune at 6.
And to view the full list of election results in your area, just text the word results to 314-425-5355.